I'm currently transitioning career-wise. How can I use my ECD resource while I'm working towards this in the absence of clients? And it certainly applied to my career as well, where I transitioned out of my full-time employment at my previous employer to then consulting to then this part of the journey that I'm on. And the simple answer is run pro bono workshops. So the first 12 months I ran pro bono workshops, and a lot of people, I get a lot of pushback on this from all different cultures as well, saying if I'm doing free workshops, I'm undervaluing myself. And I think the complete opposite is true. By running free workshops, you're putting out into the world a chance for reciprocity to be shown. You're testing, you're experimenting. When you run free workshops, you can, excuse my language, but you can F things up because you're doing it for free. So there's no expectation that you've had this big payment being made and it has to be super slick. So in the first 12 months, I would have run 13, 14, 15 workshops all for free on the proviso. This is the one proviso. I asked in return a testimonial for those sessions, because a testimonial for me at that stage was 1,000 times more valuable than getting paid X amount for a workshop, because it allowed me to then go out and when I met with more people to say, hey, I've run it with this person, this person, and this person, and this is what they said, and this is what I learned. And so I think that doing pro bono workshops is the most valuable thing people can possibly do to begin with, to get started in this space. But it's easy to, I know it's easy to, and my mindset used to be doing free work is undervaluing your time and your expertise. And I used to be firmly in that camp. And I've only moved to this camp because I've experienced the complete opposite and figured out a way to create value, even though there's not a financial transaction within it. And it's really important to think value is not only financial when we're starting out on this journey, especially with this game where you're still learning about it, getting better at it, honing your skills like I have been over, and I'm still doing that, by the way, over the last 4 or 5 years.
Jeremy, if I can just add to my question there.
Sure.
So this probably goes back to my earlier question in terms of, working with startups and stuff. I'm actually, throughout the last hour, I'm actually looking at how I can actually use this with my own brand evolution and other startups and stuff. So I was the one that asked that question. But can I ask, so you're saying run pro bono workshops. How did you market yourself? Just through social media or what?
Yeah, LinkedIn, just through LinkedIn. Hey, I've got this new game. Does anybody want to try it with me? The part B to your question there, to your original question is bring your friends together or ex-colleagues and say, hey, I've got this new game. I'd love to test it out with you. You might find it interesting. And then you run like a miniature meetup. And you have 6 people in the room who then go back to their workplaces and go, hey, Anthea took me through this thing the other day. Man, wonder if we could use it. And then all of a sudden that starts to proliferate out. And there's a few of our pro elephant riders who have been doing that recently, running small meetups. And Emma, one of them based in Adelaide, she did that the other day with a group of like a women's group, a women's leadership group. I think she had 12 people in the room, and she got four people in that room, then came back to her and said, oh, can you give me a proposal for that session? But she ran that for free, pro bono, with those group of disparate people. But even just running it with your friendship group, because everybody in that group, I'm sure, will know somebody who works in a leadership position somewhere, or in HR, or as a leader of a team who goes, oh, I did that thing with Anthea the other day and it was really interesting. And then they might come back to you.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's really powerful.
The creative juices flow. Thank you.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's really powerful. And it's fun because you get to test it with some friends to begin with, so you can muck it up a little bit as well, over some wine or food, whatever it might be. So you can have some fun with it, introducing it to your friends to begin with, or then put a call out on LinkedIn and say, hey, I'm using this new game. I'd love to experiment with some people who's up for getting together for lunch and trying it. Those sorts of things. And you'll be so surprised by how the connections then work, right? Because somebody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. It's just naturally how it works. And reciprocity is in full effect. You'll find that reciprocity does exist, and it does exist and it works. Yeah.